life, I've been a performer, a musician, beloved and celebrated by all. But I have a secret. I'm also a playground for sprites and spirits and worse. The voice that rings inside me now is darker than any that came before. Almost caused a bunch of my fans to rip each other to pieces. But you can trust me. I've got this under control. Step 1. Find out who or what is trying to take control of my mind. Step 2. Make it sorry it ever tried.
Hello again. That's twice now you've saved my skin. And I think it's time to start repaying the favours. I could fetch some stuff you need, maybe. Ma always said I was a great runner. Sure thing. I'll start hunting that down right away. Don't wait up.
Hail, friend, and remember, in Lucian's love there can be no wrong. Paradise awaits, my friend. Not an actual paradise, of course. I don't think there's such a place in all of Rivellon. Paradise Downs. My parents still sow the soil there. And if the Order hadn't called me to its ranks, I'd still call their farm my home. I miss it. I miss them. They've been forever understanding of my duty. But I admit, I've been neglectful. I have some wrongs to right. Only as often as I need his guidance, Godwoken. When I invoke Lucian's words, I invoke his deeds too. He stood for the defenseless when the Black Ring rose up. For all of us. For my mother, my father.
Gareth's nostalgia lasts for just a moment longer. He composes himself, clears his throat, and waits for your next question.
I expect Malady has an answer to that. It seems she's got it all in hand.
I've plenty of fighters for hire, experts in blades, bows, and bewitchment. Oh, I see you have a full contingent already. Then I'll leave you be.
Ricca's coast lies nearby. When you are ready to sail elsewhere, I shall bring you there. The wood of the sacred ancestor trees has long been coveted for its ability to resist magical attacks. The consciousness of the elf within was always lost when they were uprooted there. I am different. I think and feel. It is the work of freedmen. Dallas wanted more than a ship. She wanted a warrior slave who was bound to obey. So Friedemann used source magic to keep me alive as I was torn apart and rebuilt. He made me feel every moment of agony, then marked my wood with a slave scar. When I was an ancestor tree, the mother tree demanded loyalty also, but at least I was one of many. Now I am alone.
I hadn't realized I was in such illustrious company when we met before. Most fascinating, the things I've been hearing about you. That you're, how did Malady put it again? A god-woken. Yes, that's it. Quite remarkable if it's true. Come now. You've seen the state of things. A potential savior from all this void-woken nonsense would be of interest to everyone with a beating heart. And some without, I would imagine. We all have secrets. Do I oblige you to spill your heart to me? No, I do not. Besides, you make me sound so mercenary. No, I'm merely pleased to learn that my new friend has such great things awaiting her in the future. Both wise and well-mannered. You'll go far, I'm sure. I do hope I get to watch. Why, it was your ally, Malady, who spared me. She claimed that I might be of some use yet. Rather flattering to enjoy the favor of such a powerful being.
For hire, all seasoned in combat.
As you approach, the silent monk puffs. As you approach, the silent monk puffs a bit of air from between her stitched lips. She seems agitated. The silent monk cocks his right ear towards you, then his left. He appears to be awaiting instructions.
Here we are, Reaper's Coast. We made it. You celebrate too early. To be God-woken is all well and good, but above all, I've yet to find the Master. Somewhere further inland, Roost Anlon breathes. All I have to do now is pick up his scent and make his last breath worth my while.
Not much of a landlubber, but sometimes I get no choice in the matter. Besides, there's business to take care of. Malady said this Meister lady's the key, so we follow her lead.
Beast pauses for a moment to consider whether he's forgotten anything important.
I'd also appreciate it if we dealt with this Lohse fella. He's the key to unlocking this mess Justinia's made. So, there's some things you ought to know about me. I'm sort of... kinda royalty. I mean, I never wore a crown. Not with diamonds in it, anyway. I once stuck a wreath on my head and... Oh, sorry. I need to stop with that whole tangent thing. Anywho, let's just get it out there. I'm a bastard. The literal kind. And the other kind. The royals weren't all great with me, and I weren't too great with them. To make an overlong story over short, I started the rebellion and got caught and exiled to an island prison. Like Fort Joy, but 10 times worse. I would have died there too, if one of Justinia's ships hadn't sailed so close. So, I kinda took it, and off up, and then I came upon the victory. Nice ship. The royal sailors walked the plank as well as you could hope for. And that's where I found the notes. Right there in the open. Next to the manifest. Let's see how quick I can be. Queen Justinia's ordered some dwarf named Lohse to ambush a ship called the Peacemaker and take its cargo. Whatever's on it, She's using it against the rebels. She calls it Operation Downfall. Pretty ominous, eh? So, yeah, hoping to find this Lohar fellow and stop the Operation Downfall thing. And there you have it. Tangent-free. Mostly. Well, not mostly. A little. Okay, not at all. I don't know. I've never been one for worshipping. I always figured if Duna really existed, he'd show himself. I mean, am I really supposed to ask some invisible dwarf in the sky to grant world peace? Or give me a pony? Yeah, sounded like a waste of time to me. But, then he showed himself. He said he could help me free our people if I helped him. And I left with more questions than when I started.
A dying shark lies gasping on the sand, bleeding from the mouth and gills. It turns its dark and soulless eyes to you. Its bloody gills open in search of water, but find only air.
What happened here? True. And that just a caravan. I remember one just like this picking me up. Could have been a shipment to Fort Joy.
No,
But what happened here?
White as driftwood, the dwarf flinches at your approach, yet she holds a short, clean blade aloft. Her fierce stance can't hide the trembling of her fingers.
Back! Get back! I'll kill you, just like the rest of them.
Shh, lass. I know you're all afright. In times like these, I don't blame you. But I ain't out to hurt you. Now, why don't you take a few breaths and tell me what happened?
She slumps, all bravado draining from her.
No. I've never seen anything like those beasts before. Are they gone?
Voidwalking, you mean? Poor thing. No wonder you were scared. I'd be scared too.
Those... yes. Worst ones I've ever seen. Ripped through the Magisters. The dwarves. Dead. And the sorcerers. Gone.
Her eyes stare vacantly into the distance, glassy as marbles. It's not cold, yet her shivering is relentless.
I don't know. Oh, Duna's beard. Lohse, my boss, Lohse, will want to know what happened to them, but I can't remember.
Lohse, eh? Where will I find this boss of yours?
Oh, well, you'll find him in Effie's Emporium, neath the Black Bull. He's a fine man. A little gruff, yeah, but he's the only one in Driftwood wanting to help and not hurt.
She looks up at Beast through tear-stained eyes, but you can see her resolve hardening as she remembers who she is and what she stands for.
Oh, Seven Sympathy. I saw those things dragging the sorcerers along the cliffs towards the Wrecker's caves. No more. It's gone.
She flinches at the slightest rustle of wind through the long grass. Terror in her eyes, she stumbles away from you. Work. That's all there was in Driftwood for a dwarf like you. Until you got involved in the anti-magister resistance. Then, the work was still there, but also purpose. Purpose worth dying for. Eloisa was the prettiest girl, not to others, but to you. Her luminous eyes shone brighter than the moon. The day you collared her for Fort Joy, you wept every tear you had. You never cried again. You stride past the chained sorcerers and climb onto the caravan without complaint. As you settle onto the bench, you offer Ralik's blessings to the Magister Guard. He offers only a bleary-eyed stare of disinterest in return before shoving the chained sorcerers aboard. As you watch them cower, you cannot help but feel annoyance. After all, don't they know they're going to be saved?
Come on!
The little boy lobs a stone across the river. It makes a long arc before plunging into the water below.
Oh, Ma! Are you all right? Ma!
A screech like metal dragging on stone grinds from across the river.
You have to help her, please. You can't see her. She's in the house, and those things are all around. Void things. There was a fight. Some dwarves attacked some magisters, and there were sorcerers too. And then the bugs came. Those void things. They killed everyone. And my mom got them to chase her. And she went across the bridge. And then she raised the bridge and she told me to run. And now she's stuck over there with them. Not without Ma. Family doesn't just leave each other. If those things get to Ma, they can get to me too. Are you going to help me? Listen, Ma's in our house across the river. The bugs haven't gotten in yet. I know she's inside. All you need's a way across. Ma lifted the bridge, but there's got to be another way, right? There's got to be a way. We'll save Ma. I know we will.
His gaze shoots to the ground. He grabs a small flat pebble and chucks it across the river. Again, it lands in the water below, well before reaching the other side of the cliffs.
I'll keep distracting him. way! Ma didn't leave me. I'm not leaving her.
He performs a divine order salute.
Now go out, Ma!
The angelic figure stands upon a mosaic that depicts a dragon, or a leviathan. You no longer look without, but within. You understand where your path must take you.
Of course I'm right. Stick with me, kid. I won't steer you wrong. Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tolly. You'll just end up sliding down some Voidwoken's gross gullet, piece by piece.
The older-looking Magister notices your presence. He wipes his grubby hands downward across his greaves, as if to wipe away the grime, but instead smears more dirt onto them.
Halt! What word do you bring?
His face goes pale, and his eyes open wide. The Magister that greeted you remains stiff, as if enduring a harsh wind.
The Voidwoken come.
Hush, Fader. You may pass, traveller. Dare say you'll be aching to leave before long anyway. But before you do, find Raymond, the White Magister. He'll want to know what you've seen. Be quick, mind. He's set to sail any moment.
He nods his head in the direction of the bridge, but offers no other instructions.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
Are you sure?
A Magister guard approaches. Behind her, on the gallows, 2 lizards. One in a Magister uniform hangs dead from her neck. The other hangs from her hands, still alive.
Step away from the prisoner!
Come now. Is this really necessary?
She's hanging by her hands because the boss don't want her dead just yet. She's a tough one, Master Siva. She's a seeker, and she's a bloody traitor.
You... Poor dwarf. Do you even know what they've done to you?
She was part of the Order. Knew Alexander personally. Alexander trusted her. At least as far as you can trust a lizard. To repay... She wasn't there when Alexander fell. But White Magister Raymond uncovered the truth. She's as guilty as any of them. And I reckon she got off lightly. I'd have had her flayed alive with a salted bullwhip.
Please. Why would I kill Lucian's second most charming son?
You're going to... What, now? She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her. I'll regret this, I know I will.
I didn't
All right.
kill Alexander.
I'll stand
You did it.
aside.
Release me.
The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discoloured. Her eyes are closed, but her tongue flickers as you approach.
Welcome to Driftwood, Godwoken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the swollen lid.
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me down. There is work to be done. Or indeed you could stand there like a stage-struck peasant. If you're waiting for me to applaud and cry encore, you may be disappointed. I'm in no position to clap.
The lizard grimaces, shifting awkwardly as she dangles.
I am in intense pain.
You are either insufferably cruel or insufferably stupid. Insufferably stupid. As if there was any doubt. Oof. You was obvious, Godwoken. You are whippet thin, implying you've been a captive. Your wrists have seen the sun, but your neck has not, so you sported a collar, not shackles. Thus you escaped Fort Joy. After an escape, any sane creature would rest, but the bags under your eyes indicate you haven't. Why not? You must have been chased. Thus... thus you must have been important. No one important escapes a prison without help, and no one frees sorcerers bar the Seekers. They thought you were worth saving, and thus I surmise you are God-woken. Now, an important person does not come to Driftwood unless they seek someone even more important than themselves, so I further surmise you are here for me and will help me down. Now!
A slow, pained grin spreads across the lizard's face. Her tongue flickers.
Not quite as stupid as I imagined. I am head of the Seekers, girl. I can taste your sauce. It wafts about you like honeysuckle on the breeze. Now, if you would be so kind, my bonds.
The Meister bares her teeth, stained a deep pink by her blood, and growls.
Malady is unfortunately mistaken. I cannot train you, but I can certainly help you on your path, as long as I am free of this rope. Because along with torture and interrogation, the Magisters found space in their schedules to purge me, that's why. They spent quite some time at it, too. Apparently I was a rich vein to be mined, and now I hang powerless as any butchered carcass. They stopped the process just as the last of my power drained away. Just enough to rob me of my strength, but not enough to leave me a hollow sack of flesh and scales. I had hoped they simply wished to preserve my charm and beauty, but no. It seemed Dallas had ordered that I be held until she could do the deed herself. To give it the personal touch, I imagine. Now that you have had that... that delightful little nugget of gossip, perhaps you could do your damn job and let me loose? Be quick about it. Who knows when that Magister might return? God's teeth, it feels good to move again. Now, best scurry off before that Magister wanders back. Meet me at my home in Driftwood, and we can see what you're made of.
There's one unaffected egg behind them. Perhaps there's still a chance. There you are, little egg.
I bet you're the musical sort. You've thought about taking up the lute. I got a few ready to go, all freshly strung. Oh, wonderful. It's like I always said. Everyone's got a melody in 'em. You just gotta look. My brother Laslow couldn't carry a tune in a bucket when he was a wee thing. Now, he's got the voice of an angel. He's all right then, yeah? That's Laslow, all right. If he had the blues, you'd never know it. Nothing kept his big smile from brightening the darkness. I hate the Magisters for what they'd done. Stole me brother. Stole me heart. I keep going though, hoping to get to Ark sooner than later. Lucian's Day crowds will be wanting some musical trifles. Useful? Ah, you mean deadly. Used to make bows and fletch arrows, but left that hobby behind. There's no shortage of suffering, that's for sure. Maybe I could do me part to help your efforts. Come back later then. I need a bit of time to carve something useful.
grasshopper.
Mari flashes a massive horsey smile at you, then winces, her left arm hanging limply at her side.
By the seven, that was something. What'd I tell you? Nice scratch on me. None that'll last, at least. Glad my little guy got to see it. With an attitude like that, you ought to join up with the Order. They're always on the lookout for fighters like you, especially these days. Didn't catch your name, though. I'm Mari. Pleasure's mine. You all right? Dunno about you, but I never was afraid of bugs. Then again, if you hadn't rolled in when you did, I might be whistling Teedle-Dee in a void-woken's belly by now. I owe you one. Always happy to squash a bug if I get the chance. Especially with a toughie like you on the front. Hate to cut this short, but I ought to dash off. My boy's waiting for me. Mind lowering the bridge, though? I find myself slightly indisposed for the moment. Gave him a good whipping, we did. She's all yours. There you are, my good-looking lad.
Ma!
Let me get a good look at you. You're okay?
Of course I am, Ma. Are you?
Fit as a fiddle. And twice the size.
And the house?
She'll be all right. And how's my little spider monkey doing? Safe and sound?
Spider monkey? You mean dragon?
Come here, you.
Mother and son fall into a tight embrace. One tear rolls down Mari's nose, falls on the black stubble on Barin's head. She strokes the wet drop away, smiling. Mari seems oblivious to you. Her eyes are closed, her lips turned in a serene smile as she strokes Barin's head.
My boy, my good boy.
Hey, wait, one sec. Ma, look! Thank you so much for helping my Ma. All those void-woken. Sheesh, thank the gods everyone is okay.
Thank the gods. Oh, thank the mum. And our friend here too. If that's the case, let them show themselves. Lucian at the very least. All these Reds running the realm for him and he ain't even here. Anyhow, I know a good arm when I see one. I'll tell my cousin Raymond what you did. He's real high up in the Order and he's visiting Driftwood as we speak. Could be he has some good work for you.
Some dwarves, locals, attacked a Magister caravan. Must have been sorcerers inside. Voidwoken must have sensed them. Came in formation like a proper battalion. Never seen anything like it.
No match for the bomber pair at the Bridgeside cottage. Right, Baron?
As rain.
We're off into town. Best of luck to you, mate. And come say hi if you make your way inside.
Rather large for a cellar, isn't it?
What's this? I found something.
Come to join the party.
So many memories buried in the soil.
Oh, but you do get around, don't you?
He takes a satisfied sniff and rubs his hands together. His lips stretch into a mischievous smirk.
When it comes to graveyards, I'm a kid in a candy shop. All sorts of goodies and gewgaws for the taking. And a bit of rousing conversation. If you know what to dig, that is. Ah, it's a quandary, you see. I'm not exactly welcome in the stone garden. The servants that tend the graves, well, their master, this Ricca fellow, caught me nosing around, so he had them chase me off. The spirits within are particularly feisty as well. Can't say why. I'm as gentle as can be. Alas, I'm stuck sniffing out herbs and fungi on the outskirts.
He presses a forefinger against his chin and hums.
This is when having access to a godwoken might come in handy. You see, beyond the gates, there's something that my heart, such as it is set on. Well, that's the gold-plated question it is. I dare say you'll enjoy this story. Somewhere in this graveyard lies an object of tremendous power. Or so the legends say, anyway. Belonged to a family buried near here, the Surreys. I've been reading up on them. An ancient clan of eccentrics and oddballs. Fascinating people, truly. Old Joanna was the last. The poor, poor dear. Had no money, no children, just this incredible heirloom passed down to her through the generations. Problem is, no one knows what this object is. Only that it's an astounding piece of work. Seems Joanna took its secrets to her grave. Rather literally.
His coy grin freezes.
Hours spent on scholarship are never hours wasted.
Tarquin sighs, and his lips unfreeze. For a moment, he looks almost modest.
It pains me to say, but you've talents in the adventuring department that I do not. And this heirloom could prove valuable for both of us. I've told you everything you need to... everything I know. What it is doesn't matter. What it does... well, if I am right, it will clean up quite an unholy mess. A mess we're both currently mired in.
He looks toward the graveyard.
Let's make this easy. I'll assume you've accepted my mission. You'll assume I give it in good faith. Beautiful. The Surrey tomb must be somewhere nearby. And whatever that object is in there, I bet it's impressive. I do wish I could wander inside. It would be nice to look up some old friends. See if they're in good spirits. Lovely day. Perfect weather for it.